Hello again. So it's 2018 now, and well, it has been for nearly a month already, which is quite scary. And around about this time last year, I made a video about the 360 cameras coming out in 2017, and most of them did come out, and most of them, well, I own some of them already. I thought I would do another video about this year's 360 cameras. So which 360 cameras, or what can we expect to be released in 2018? And I found 6 360 cameras that we know for sure are coming out this year. And to be honest, they're all quite strange. Well, most of them are quite unique and completely different from anything we've seen before. So let's get started. Here are 6 360 cameras that are coming out in 2018. First camera I'm going to talk to you about is the Orbi Prime. So here's what it looks like, and I'm pretty sure you can tell that it's a pair of sunglasses. But it's not just any pair of sunglasses, because this pair of sunglasses has 4 cameras attached or integrated into the design, 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and allows it to shoot 360 video. So it's basically a wearable 360 camera. It also functions as a pretty good pair of sunglasses. It's got like the reflective lenses and stuff, so it actually does function as sunglasses as well. And you may be thinking, what is the point of that? Why would you do that? But I mean, it does kind of make some sense if you want a truly kind of first-person perspective to mimic basically a human's eyesight. They've released some video from this camera, and it can shoot in 4K, like I said. It's not the most stunning video you've ever seen. It's fairly normal, and obviously there's going to be a blind spot, because otherwise it's going to record your face and your face will look weird. So they cover the blind spot with a kind of black circle or a logo or something. Now, there's been a few attempts to put cameras in sunglasses before. I think Snapchat released a similar kind of thing. Not 360, but they tried to put some sunglasses. So I'm sorry, they tried to put some cameras in some glasses, and they looked hideous, and it didn't work, and they lost loads of money. But the design of these actually don't look too bad. They just look like kind of normal sunglasses with some kind of thickness here, which is where most of the technology goes. It will depend on how bulky, how heavy they are, and whether they're usable really as just normal sunglasses. The Orbi Prime will record for 60 minutes at a time, like I say, in 4K, and will feature a stabilization technology within the lenses themselves, so that obviously if you're walking around, it's obviously going to be quite jolted and shaky, but the camera will automatically level that out and make your video smooth, which is very, very important. So I really hope this camera succeeds. It's backed by Indiegogo, so it's like a Indiegogo project thing. So it's been backed already. It was supposed to be released last year, actually, so they're kind of behind on their delivery. But it does exist, because they were at the CES, Consumer Entertainment Show, showing the glasses around, so they do exist, and they say it's going to be released in 2018 at some point. Fairly hopeful this is going to be released this year. If you want to check the Indiegogo page, then click, I got a link below, you can go do that. Okay, the second 360 camera coming out this year that I found is the Pilot Error, which is the weirdest name for a camera I've ever heard. I'm not really sure what it means or why they called it that, but anyway, it looks really cool. It's a professional 360 camera that shoots in 8K, and what's special about this camera is that it can stitch that 8K footage within the camera itself. You don't need to transfer it to a PC or a laptop. And that's the first 360 camera that can do that. I mean, that requires a lot of processing power that other cameras just don't have. But the company behind this camera have managed to work out a way to allow this camera to stitch its own footage, which will dramatically reduce the workload for pros and allow them to preview their fully stitched image instantly. So like I say, this is a pro level camera. It's going to cost at least $3,000. Some of the other unique features of this camera is that it has a big touch screen. No doubt this is so that you can actually view your stitched footage instantly, and I'm sure you'll be able to control the camera in some way and preview your photos, your videos using the screen. You'll be able to stream with this camera as well, live broadcast, and it has a 4G connection, so even if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can still stream using 4G. But if the footage does look good, if it's immersive, if it's very clear, then this could be a really good value camera with some pretty unique features. Now, apparently the Pilot Error should be released in April this year, but I will obviously keep you updated, so check out my website, 360cameras.com, and I will be letting you know on there. Okay, let's move on to a slightly cheaper camera now. The cheapest one on this list, actually, is yet another 360 camera from Insta360, which seem to have about a dozen now. This is a sequel to the original Insta360 Nano, which was the kind of first iPhone accessory, 360 camera iPhone accessory. Now the Nano S basically retains the same idea. You plug it into your iPhone, it turns it into a 360 camera, but they've upgraded basically everything about it. It can shoot in 4K now. It can shoot 20 megapixel photos. It can you can call someone in 360 degrees, so 360 video calling. You can do multi-view, which is basically not in 360, but you use both lenses to create kind of a layered video. So it looks really cool. It's quite innovative. It's clearly meant for like vlogging, Instagram, Facebook, that kind of thing. And it's not too expensive, just over $200, I think. It's actually available to order now. So check the link below if you're interested, if you have an iPhone, and if you want to get into 360 video, then this is a good way to do it, I think. So yeah, Insta360 Nano S just for iPhones, and it's available right now. Camera number 4, coming out in 2018, is the VUZE Plus. Now, the VUZE Plus is an upgraded version of the original VUZE, which is right here, which I've been testing for a few weeks now, and I quite like it. But the VUZE Plus is going to basically be an upgrade of this camera. Now, the original VUZE was the first 360 camera, or at least consumer-level 360 camera that could also shoot in 3D. Because 3D and 360 work together quite well. It makes watching 360 video on a VR headset much more immersive and much more kind of realistic. VUZE Plus is said to improve basically on every aspect of the VUZE. It's going to improve the optics, so it's going to have new lenses to increase the quality of the video. It's going to be able to live stream, live broadcast in 360 and 3D. It's going to be water and dust resistant, whereas the original isn't, so you could take it out in the rain or in some more challenging environments and not have to worry that it's going to break. Now, there's also going to be a lot of software improvements, and to be honest, some of those have already been released for the original VUZE as well, which is good. They improved the stitching, they improved the ability to change color balance, saturation, lights, and that kind of thing. But more importantly, they allow you to control the stitching, which was an issue with the original. The stitching usually was very obvious. I'm still working on trying to work out how to do the stitching properly on this, but hopefully with the newer one, it will be a lot simpler and the stitching will just be much more accurate. We'll have to see how much better it is. If it creates really, truly much better video, then it could be worth it. But it's definitely more of a pro 360 camera, on the edge of what is consumer and what is pro, I think. But they had a big presence at the Consumer Entertainment Show this year, so they were obviously pushing it very hard. So I would think it would be strange if they waited a whole year then to release it. So sometime in 2018, VUZE Plus, keep an eye out for it. I will obviously be letting you know what happens. Right, so the 5th camera that I'm going to talk about, and probably my most, and not anticipated, but the most intriguing to me in terms of what it looks like and what it can do, is the FITT360, FITT360. Now, you may be thinking, what the hell is that? And I tell you what it reminds me of, if anyone watched Star Trek: The Next Generation, so this doesn't go across your eyes, it goes across your neck. It's a neckband, and it's got 3 individual cameras integrated into the design. So you just basically hang it around your neck and go about your day, and it's got 2 cameras here and 1 at the back. And using those lenses, it records 360 video. So it's a hands-free solution for shooting 360 video. This is actually a camera that's come out of Samsung, kind of a Samsung-backed studio or Samsung-backed development. So it's got the backing of Samsung. Not been much released about this camera yet, but the design is really intriguing. The device itself looks quite sleek. I mean, I kind of like the design. It might be a bit bulky. I mean, some photos, I mean, at the back especially, they do look kind of bulky, and then in some other photos it just looks completely natural and it looks quite futuristic. This is a Kickstarter-backed product, so check out their Kickstarter page. They've already got the funding, so they're already kind of developing it. If you back it on Kickstarter, you get a big discount. Okay, the final camera I'm going to talk about, number 6, and to be honest, I'm going to struggle here because the KANDAO how do you say it's pronounced? QOOCAM. Why is it a thing to name 360 cameras with just the strangest names ever? Okay, so the QOOCAM, however you pronounce that. Anyway, but this is a really cool camera. I mean, it's been barely talked about really. And KANDAO, I think, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. They usually make professional level cameras. You know, very expensive, very high-end 8K solutions. But this is going to be a consumer version, and what's interesting about it is that it can shoot in 360 and 180 3D. And it can do that because it can move. It can go from a completely vertical camera, and then you can move the lenses down so that the 2 lenses are facing horizontally, and therefore it can shoot in 180, but also in 3D. So it's kind of a 3-in-1 camera. You can shoot 360, you can shoot in 180, you can shoot in 3D. Now, I'm yet to be convinced that 180 cameras are really worth it. I mean, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone, so that's good. This is said to be a consumer-level camera, so it's going to be cheap-ish. It's going to be under $1,000 or even under $500, hope. Now, one of the most exciting things about this camera is that it will have depth mapping technology, and I hadn't heard about this until quite recently, but it's a really, really cool feature. It basically allows you to do so much more editing in post-production. It allows you to change the perspective of the photo, changes the focus of the photo. So if you look at these two photos, they're both the same image, but with depth mapping, you can completely change what is in focus. Again, no actual release date for this camera, but it's going to be launched on Kickstarter in March. Hopefully 2018, maybe towards probably the end of 2018, we'll have this 180 360 3D depth mapping 360 camera. Okay, so that's it. Those are the 6 360 cameras that should be coming out in 2018 at some point that I know of. Obviously, we're quite early in the year, so there'll probably be more cameras announced, more cameras coming out, and I will update you when I know about them, and I'll also update you about all of these cameras once I either get my hands on them or more news comes out. And in the next week or so, I have no less than 3 new cameras to show you guys, to test and to review. So stick around and subscribe if you are interested in 360 video, 360 cameras, and you'll find all the information you need right here. Finally, I promise this is the last thing, I have another channel which I've just started. It's called Dan the Gadget Man, me being Dan. And it's basically a tech channel reviewing all different kinds of technology, from smartwatches to phones to cameras to basically anything that I get sent, because I get sent a lot of stuff from people who want me to test and review it. So if you enjoy this channel, you might enjoy my other tech channel, which is much more broad about all different kinds of tech and gadgets. So the link will be below. Subscribe to that if you want, if you don't find me incredibly annoying, which I won't blame you if you do. Okay, but that's it. Until next time, I hope this has been useful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, obviously, and I will get back to you. But until next time, bye-bye.